Hi, traders. I'm going to have a quick one here. I worked all day. Couldn't really follow the markets intraday here. But what I'm seeing in the markets here is one of them uh-oh moments. This has the potential to break supports and open really bad in the morning. So we'll see what happens into the morning here. I mean, our RSIs are somewhat reset here. But I do not like the fact that we're building in lower value for the week near the lows, near supports on the weeks here, on the ESs here. So that's something that I'm looking at here, and I don't really like that. And also, most now that we're actually poking up just a little bit above it again, but we have pushed outside of these prior to overlapping week value areas, and price just a few for most of the evening hours here has been marking below that level. So it's something definitely to keep on watch in the morning here. This could be a liquidation scenario coming into tomorrow, and Europe has a pretty hefty sell into this. So, so basically, if this were to happen, if we start to break in the overnight session, I can see a very easy $100 drop in the markets, in my opinion. So definitely a 100 point drop on the ESs here, all the way back to the 2020 Open. So that's what I am looking for right here, right now. This has acted as some critical support in the past, but ultimately, my opinion is the main support uh, for this pullback is the 2020 Open. That's what my target is, and if we don't get it this week, I'm pretty sure we're going to get it next week. So anybody, uh, thinking that it's going to be stay up here, I think you're really fooling yourselves. But we'll see what happens. That's what I'm thinking. We are coming back to 2020 Open here on the ESs here. Going over to the NQs now. Basically, come right down to support, right near the close. They caught a little bit of a bid. So we're going to be, if we open at this area tomorrow, we're going to be right on that support line, possibly going into tomorrow or possibly even gapping down. Like I said, we are in a very dangerous territory right here. We do have open overlapping value right here, right down here. So basically the 11,045. So I'm thinking what we're going to do tomorrow is we are going to open up in this range right here below this trend line and try at our darndest to at least early in the day try to bounce back above it and hopefully we don't get a liquidation break to the downside. But basically, my target 10,552. So you can tell, pretty good downside target for the NQs as well. Another one which I've been bearish on for the week, basically my target down here 1470.80. We still haven't tagged it. That's where I think we're going. We do have, look at this, multiple. This one here, this does look like a support area. So basically, we could probably actually go down to the 1455 area or something like that and still be supportive for this area. But this is a nice consolidation area. That's where I think the ultimate price for the Russell is headed, in my opinion. Okay. Okay, as far as technology goes, they let us down on the last leg. I don't know what's going to lead us down this leg, but here's what I definitely want to keep everybody's attention on. That is your semiconductors. We closed right on support going into tomorrow. Had a lot of bearish flow in the semiconductors. We're marking lower in the after. Well, it's got a good spread there, so it's hard to tell. But my point is, we are at the value area low from last week. Weekly value area low, possibly breaking the Andrews pitchfork going into tomorrow, and that could get a nice responsive sell off here. Basically, my target and my next target's the 160 area. So that's we got a 1.2% drop. That's going to be about 2.5% drop if that were to happen. We were supposed to get that real quick flush to the downside, about a 2% drop if it were to come do that tomorrow. 2.5% drop to achieve that. So definitely in the cards, something that I've definitely got to watch. One of the ones I'm watching here on the bearish side, as you saw the heightened red candle today and a really tight doji. That's Kansas City Southern. And the main reason I mention this one here, it's had ample time to break out to the upside, but it seems to have failed. Now we seem to be going sideways, building on base. The put options are super cheap on this thing here. So if this thing were to, the markets were to start to liquidate, this is one that would be a big payday if you were to catch it right, and because the options are so darn cheap. Another one, Spotify. The put options are super cheap, you know, and so definitely one I do have on my watch here. They're not expecting a big move in the stock, so that's typically the time you want to be looking to get the options. These are longer dated ideas on these right here because of um, the uh, the options are real cheap because the moves aren't expected, and it would have to be an outside expected move. Kimberly Clark had a little bit of downside action today. Still super cheap on the put side. I do think there's a pretty decent odds you're going to be coming back into the 142, 52, 54 area. Another one I'm looking at here for the gap fill. The going to be about the 192 area. So that'll be a $5 drop tomorrow on potentially Lamb Research. We are continuing to see bearish flow into the consumer discretionary space, suggesting that we are going over the next couple weeks see more money leading out of the consumer discretionary, and could definitely take a big hit here in consumer retail and stuff like that. So definitely keep this one on watch going forward here. Nice red candle, engulfing red candle today. You know, so definitely we want something we want to keep on watch. Okay, I said yesterday that I was bearish Facebook, and so basically what I've got setting up right here, basically we got a wedge or a wedge pattern, and basically we got this blue line right here. I think Facebook is going to be coming back down to this blue line, so about over a $10 move to the downside I am anticipating for Facebook. So just keep this one on your watch. I think in probably possibly this week, maybe next week, we're going to see Facebook have a nice little pullback over the next. And we did close breaking a key support area on Facebook, in my opinion. So I think we'll probably be open around the 164 area or awful close to it tomorrow. And we do have a little bit in the after hours session so far, but that's what I'm kind of looking at right here. A Facebook is coming back into this zone right here, and then it's going to potentially rocket back up for another leg higher. We'll see, or break down with the markets. We'll see what happens here, but that's just some of the things I'm looking with Facebook. Google's another one I am more bearish on, and I do think it has potential. We do have overlapping value right here. So basically, somewhere around the $1,500 range, I think that's where it's going to settle in at. We're at $1,526 right now, lost $21 today. So another 1.5% possible decline tomorrow, in my opinion. And that'll hopefully get it settled in around the $1,500 range here in the short term, in my opinion. Okay, NVIDIA, I'm keeping on watch here. Basically, boom. And that candle today came right down to trend support. So basically this thing, and we did break the 20 SMA again, 21 SMA. And we've had a very bearish candle for NVIDIA today. This is potentially a continuation candle breaking this trend, this uptrend. I've got uptrend channel and potentially taking the semis down with it. So they were using NVIDIA to help hold the tech up. And this really looks like a finally it is resolving to the downside, in my opinion. So just keep this one on watch. After hours, we do have a slight bid here in the after hour session. So basically, as you can tell with my tone and stuff, a lot of risks tonight, and we won't know till Europe really opens, because that's what's really going to change it, make the tone. I did have some bearish action today in EWU That's the UK, and basically look what it's doing right here. We're right at the bottom of its range going into tomorrow. So I think it's a a decent possibility. Really support for the 2478 area for EWU going into if this thing starts to break. So definitely something to keep on watch here. That's why I'm leaning more bearish because I do think it's set up for a lot of the European equities to roll over to the downside first thing tomorrow morning. So that's definitely something you guys should be aware of. Okay, like the video if you like it. Leave comments, please, and you can always join us here in Trade with Joe, his chat room. I'm there sometimes. Right this week here, I've been pretty busy, but pretty good team of people. Just leave me a note if you want to know details and stuff. Thanks a lot.